What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. Today we're talking about how to go to your first drift event so you can be more prepared and spend less time worrying about stuff and more time doing stuff like this. We all know you want to go to your first drift event, you don't have any problems, no hiccups, you just want to go, drive, learn, and most importantly, you want to have fun. So first thing, before you even register, before you even put your money down, most drift events have their tech sheet online. So you should be able to figure out exactly what needs to be done to your car. You know, you need to have your battery tied down, no floor mats in the car. There's a list of things that that particular organization wants from you in order to make this safe, right? And that's the name of the game, is safety. Mostly going to be talking about, you know, no oil leaks, stuff like that. But you want to take a look at that list and see exactly what you need to do to be in compliance. That way you don't get all the way out there and they tell you you can't drive just for something silly. You want to make sure that your car is good to go, as far as not just only the safety aspects that the tech's going to be looking for. You know, if your car overheats while sitting in traffic, or it makes some kind of weird noise when you go over bumps, you want to sort all of that stuff out, all your known problems. You want to have that kind of sorted and ready to go before you get into your first event, because you know, anything that happens on the street and is an issue is going to be compounded by beating on the car, by doing a drift event. It's going to get worse, and it could cause a failure, and you'll be done with your day early. And especially if you're driving the car to the track, you want to make sure that you're going to be able to drive it home at the end of the day. So if you've got any issues, it's time to sort them out before you get registered. Just make sure everything's good to go, you know. So definitely make sure that you have your car ready to go. Also, on that tech sheet, it'll also tell you what your helmet needs to be. So some organizations, most organizations will still let you run SA 2010. Some of them want SA 2015. That's the newest regulation as far as like Snell goes with your helmets. But 2020 is going to drop obviously in October of this year. So they're going to let 2010 helmets ride probably until 2021. But after that, you're going to have 2015 or newer. So just keep that in mind. Make sure you got a good helmet and your car's ready to go before you put your money down and then find out you can't drift. You're gonna need some tools. You don't have to bring your entire toolbox to the event, especially, you know, when you're riding, when you're going by yourself, you're putting everything in your car, you've got limited space. But what I like to go through is your open ends, you know, like 8 through 19, and then maybe a 21 or 22, something like that. So I guess so that'd be an 8 through 21 or 22. But if you don't have that, you know, 8 through 19, and then like a good crescent wrench or something like that to kind of get you over what you don't have. You want to do, I usually bring a 3/8 ratchet and socket set with some extensions and a swivel. I'll do the same thing with the quarter drive set, just so it kind of covers all the bases. You're going to want some screwdrivers, flathead, Phillips head, and then what you didn't see in the clip below, you're gonna want to, let me pull one out for you. Back, you're gonna want some pliers. I usually will bring like a pair of dikes, just a pair of regular pliers, you know, maybe some channel locks, but you don't want to overdo it. You don't want to bring, like I said, you don't want to bring your entire toolbox with you. You're likely not going to need it, especially on your first day. It's just going to take up room, and you're going to have to load it and unload it and all that. So basic setup, you know, I show my impact sockets here, but it's not necessary. You're also going to need something to take your wheels on and off with. Now this is what I use, but you don't necessarily have to use that. If you just have a 4-way, something simple, you can use a half drive ratchet and whatever size lug nut that your car takes. You can use that half drive ratchet and socket, you know, if it comes down to it. You don't have to have an electric impact, although it will make your life a whole lot easier. Don't know what it did before we got these. It just makes taking the wheels on and off super simple. You're gonna wanna bring a jack. So just in case you need to lift the car up, obviously if you're changing tires and wheels, or wheels and tires. If you're changing your wheels because they got new tires on them, you're gonna need a floor jack. I recommend an aluminum one if you're toting all of this in your car, because it's just lighter, it's easier to manage. With your tools, you're gonna want to bring an air gauge. That could be any style of air gauges. I have two. This is like your normal one you'd see in like somebody's glove box, and then a dial gauge. Dial gauge is just a little bit easier to read, but you want to bring that. I would start your tire pressures at whatever the manufacturer recommends, 30 or 35. But throughout the day, if you feel like, oh man, I'm really kind of feeling the car is really loose in the back, you can try to lower the pressure. You probably won't need to do all that or worry about all of that when you're first starting out, but it is good to have just in case. So I recommend just throwing in the box. They're small, they don't take up much space. Just a good thing to have. Tires, how many do you need to bring? Being that it's your first event, you're probably only going to need to bring one extra pair. So you're gonna drive in with a good pair of tires. You're gonna put on your drift tires, whether that's some brand new tires is what I recommend. Get some new ones. They'll last you all day. But if you can't afford it, or you just don't know if you're gonna stick with this, you just have some throwaway tires, maybe around, put those on some wheels, throw them in the car, and use those. But you're not gonna need to bring 3 and 4 pairs of rear tires. You're just not gonna go through that many. It's a learning experience your first day. You're not gonna go through that many tires. You're not gonna be doing crazy fast drifts and burning all the tires into clouds of smoke. You'll get there, but it won't be today. So one extra pair of tires, plenty for your first day of drifting. You wanna bring as much stuff as you can to make yourself comfortable, especially during the summer. Sun's beating down, it's hot. So if you can fit a tent in the car, bring one if you've got one. If not, big sombrero-like hat, just keep the sun off of you. At the very least, bring some sunscreen. You will get burned, and it's definitely no fun getting home, getting in the shower, and just, it's a bad feeling. Anyway, so if you can, a tent, second best, big hat, and some sunscreen. You definitely want to throw some sunscreen in the bag. Also, on that same note, bring as much water and snacks as you can. You're gonna need it. Some racetracks don't have any of that stuff there. Some of them will just have vending machines, and they're typically they're overpriced. So stock up ahead of time. Go to the grocery store, get yourself some water, some Gatorades, and at least some snacks. That way, throughout the day, you can grab it. You don't have to worry about running to the gas station or convenience store or whatever it is that's around there. If there's anything around the track, for that type of stuff. Grab it ahead of time. It'll just save you some headache when you're out there. The last point is probably the major one, is to go out there to have fun. You're not going to be, Ken Block or Vaughn Gittin Jr. or Chelsea Denofa. You're not gonna be those guys on your first day. And nobody expects you to be that way. So when we're out there, we're having a good time. We're there to drive with our friends. And we don't care if you're struggling and spinning out, but people will get annoyed if you spin out 3 or 4 times in the same run, and then because you're just holding up everybody. So usually most event organizations will have a 2-spin rule. So if you spin once, kind of collect yourself. Don't do a big anger burnout. If you spin, you're just wasting tires. You're not learning anything that way. So just, if you spin, just, all right, clutch in, back to first, take off, do your thing again. If you spin out a second time, just make your way off the course without trying to drift. And then get back in line and do it again. Nobody's concerned really with what you're doing. We all started somewhere at some point. We all had to learn. It's just like anything else. If you go to the gym, most people are focused on what they're doing. They're not worried about you looking weird on the treadmill. It's the same thing here. But I will say that if you ask pretty much anybody at a drift event for help, they're gonna be willing to help you. I wouldn't go up to a new driver and just say like, hey, do you want me to come help you learn how to do this? Not because I don't want to help, but I don't want you to feel like, you know, that I think you're terrible and you need help. But if you want help and you want somebody to, you know, ride along with you and kind of give you some tips and tricks, or you want to ride with them, you know, you see somebody that, you know, is doing really well, and just approach them and say, hey, you know, my name's Mike and I'm just learning, and I have this 350Z over here, I just bought it, I'm kind of, you know, just kind of feeling things out. Would you mind riding with me for a session? Just, you know, just give me some pointers. Or would you mind if I ride with you for a run and, you know, kind of see what it's like from your point of view? And most times, I would say 99% of the time, they're gonna say yes. Because we want you to do well, we want you to succeed and get better, because that grows the sport, it grows the community. And if you have more people drifting, that means you have more events, because people can, you know, afford to put these events on and kind of keep everything going. So we want you to do better. So just go out there, have fun. You know, like nobody is watching you and, you know, saying like, haha, that guy's terrible, look at him spin out. It's not like that. We want you to come back and we want you to do your next event and your event after that and the one after that, and progress and get better, and do whatever it is that you want to do in the sport, whether that's just for fun or go to competitions and be the next, you know, D1 champion. We want you to succeed and do well and all that good stuff. So don't worry about, you know, not being great at first. No one's ever great at anything they do on the first day. So just keep that in mind, and don't be too hard on yourself. Remember, it's your first event. You're out there to have fun. So I hope this helps you get prepared for that first event and get ready. And I hope you go out and you have a great time. If you have any additional questions, you know, about your first event, if you've already done an event, you know, let me know in the comments what was your favorite part about your first event or your first couple of events. Throw it down below. If you enjoyed the video, definitely give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more content, please consider subscribing. As always, guys, I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch the videos, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.